everybody stand. Let's have a prayer. All together, dear God, thank you for looking after our school. Thank you for that you love each other and every one of us here. Help us to learn, play, and share together so that the wonderful world you have made becomes more beautiful every day. Amen. Good morning, class. Okay, before we go on with our discussion for today, let me have first check your attendance. Okay, great. Everybody's present. Now, before we go on with our lesson, let's have first a recap of what we have discussed last meeting. Yes, Earl? Yes, we have discussed about the nature and characteristics of research. Now, I have a few questions. Why do we need to conduct research? What is the importance of research? Anyone? Yes, Ford. Yes, to provide solutions to the problem. What else? Yes, very good, Nicole. To improve the quality of life. What else? Yes, Monica. Yes, it reduces the burden of works. What else? Yes, Nicole. Yes, for economic and social progress. Okay, how about the characteristics of research and nature of research? Why do we need to know that? Very good, Rachel. In order for us to know the process of conducting research. Very good. What else? Yes. Very good, Shane. For us to know what are the appropriate theories that we need to apply in the conduct of our research study. So who can give me an example of the characteristics of research? Yes? Very good, Richelle. The research should be objective. What else? Yes? Very good, Vian. The research should be clear. Another one. Very good, Ali. The research should be empirical. So I am now convinced that you are now ready to learn our new lesson. So before we go on in our new lesson, let's have first an activity. A story, but upon reading a story, I want you to play a role like a researcher. Is that okay? Okay. So, everybody read. And here's the question. As a researcher, you wanted to know the reason why they neglected their duties. How are you going to solve the problem? Anyone? Yes, you will ask Miss Reyes and her colleagues about their experiences. What else? Yes, you will. What again? I cannot hear you. Yes, you will gather information from the employees about work-related experiences. What else? Okay, seek an answer for further readings and researches. Very good. So, our lesson for today, what have you observed? Before I go, what have you observed from your answers? Yes, there are different ways on how we address the problem or the research problem and how to find solution on that. Because research problem seek to uses different research designs that will help us to address the research problem. And that is what we call the qualitative and quantitative research. Now, for our objectives, altogether, Okay, so before we discuss the differences and similarities of research, let's have first define what is a research design. So it says here that a research design refers to an overall strategy that a researcher uses to logically and coherently integrate the various components of a study. Therefore, a research design used in order for us to address the research problem that we have in our research study. So it will help us, through the use of research design, it will help us to organize in a coherent manner the research study that we have and to address effectively the research topic. Now, for the differences of the qualitative and quantitative research, in terms of meaning, the qualitative is a type of educational research in which the researcher relies on the views of the participants, since the qualitative research defined as an inquiry process of conducting a research, and it deals with the experiences of the participants. While in the quantitative research is a type of research in which the researcher decides what to study, since the quantitative research is a systematic way of conducting a research study. It gathers quantifiable data and performs analytical operations. So that is a quantitative research. So for qualitative, it deals with the experiences, and for quantitative, it deals with the quantifiable data. Now, in terms of purpose, in qualitative research, its purpose is to understand and interpret social interaction, since if we go back to the meaning, it deals with the experiences. Now, in the quantitative research, its purpose is to test the hypothesis. So, we are about to apply a certain theory in order for us to test the hypothesis, if we'll accept it or not. And it describes the cause and effect and predictions. So, in terms of the characteristics, do you have an idea? Yes, Nicole, kindly give an idea about this one. Very good, Nicole. It asks broad or general questions since it focuses on it deals with human experiences. The behavior, it observes the behavior of human interaction or individuals' interaction. Then, it collects data consisting largely of words or image. Since in the data collection, we are about to interview the participants about their experiences in the specific phenomena. And image, because we are about to take a photo of what we have observed or draw what we have observed. That's why there's an image in qualitative research design. It's up to us as a researcher on how we will conduct the data. Next one is data. Then description and analysis of word for teams, since in analyzing the qualitative research design, we are about to code or categorize the data that we have gathered from our participants and conduct the thematic analysis. And for the last one, it conduct inquiry in subjective biased manner. Ma'am, why subjective? Since in conducting a research, we need to become objective. Yes, subjective, since in data collecting, in the data gathering, we are asking about the experiences of the participants. We are deal with the experiences of the participants. That's why it's subjective. Next one, in the quantitative research, it asks specific narrow questions since it seeks specific answer. Then, it collects data from the respondents through the use of survey questionnaire and analyzes numbers using statistics. Like for instance, we are using the SPSS in order for us to tabulate the data that we have gathered from our respondents. And conduct the inquiry in unbiased, objective manner since our survey questionnaire came from our RRL or aligned in our RRL. Next one, in terms of the identifying a research problem for quantitative research, an exploration in which little is known about the problem, a detailed understanding of a central phenomenon. When we say little is known, meaning the researcher wanted to know more about the experiences of the participants. And in the quantitative research design, it described the trends or an explanation of the relationship of the variables. Later on, we will discuss what are the variables. Then for the reviewing literature, we have here the minor role in suggesting research questions to be asked and it justified the importance of the research problem. So in reviewing the literature, the focus of the RRL in qualitative research is the importance of conducting the study. While in this one, it gives you the answer or it will back up the results of the data in the quantitative research design. While in terms of specifying for the purpose, in the qualitative research, again, you are asking for a general and broad term and seeks to understand the participants' experiences. Since ang focus natin experiences. Then for the quantitative research design, you are asking specific and narrow questions since you wanted to seek answers, specific answers. Then measurable and observable. Yeah. And in terms of the forms of data collection, we have here for qualitative open-ended responses since we have time to clarify the questions that we ask from our participants. And interviews, participants, observation, field notes, and reflections. And for the quantitative, of course, we are using the survey questionnaire in order for us to gather data. And we are using SPSS to tabulate the data that we have gathered. So in terms of the results, of course, in the qualitative, it less generalized since you cannot apply the experiences of this particular group into another group. That's why it is less generalized. While in the quantitative research, the result can be applied to all. Yeah. Then, for the final report, we have here the qualitative research narrative report with a contextual description and direct quotations from research participants. And for the quantitative, we will put the statistical report like graphs or tables and the statistical significance of the findings. So, we will not just simply include the tables and the graphs that we have for the quantitative. We must also discuss the findings, what is the meaning of the table, and of course there must be a support coming from the RRL. So for the types of question, in the qualitative you are about to ask why and how questions, and for the quantitative you are about to ask what and how many questions. So any question before I proceed with the activity? So let's group ourselves into 4. Okay, 1. This will be the group 1, 2, 3, and 4. So let's have an activity. So you need to work collaboratively and brainstorm about the activities in order for you to come up with a better result. So I have here a copy of an activity. So please get one and pass. Then, in that activity, you are asked to analyze the given scenario and provide the appropriate research design that would help you to solve the research problem. So you will be graded based on the given criteria. So the first criteria, the student has a general knowledge about the report, 4 points. The student has the ability to respond to the questions, ability to clarify some issues and concerns, and attitude towards criticisms and contribute to their members. A total of 20 points. So you will have 10 minutes to brainstorm with your group about the problems, the given problem scenario, and afterwards present it. Then, okay, these are the guide questions. What type of data collecting method you would use and why, and briefly discuss how you would collect the data. Okay, it's already time.